This moment changed everything. The moment when Obi-Wan sliced Anakin in half and Mustafar left him medium rare. It's what created Darth Vader, the iconic character we all know. But Anakin also lost so much that day. His connection to the Force weakened, he lost Padme, and countless midichlorians. But what if Anakin had won? George Lucas once said that if Anakin hadn't been burned, he would have become twice as powerful as Palpatine. But before we start the what if story, don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy the story. Obi-Wan stands on the high ground and says,
"It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!"
Anakin responds with,
"You underestimate my power!"
Obi-Wan warns him.
"Don't try it!"
But here's where the timeline shifts. This time, Anakin gathers enough strength to leap higher than he did in the original timeline. He jumps over Obi-Wan and strikes him down, killing him. This version of events comes from the alternate timeline in the Revenge of the Sith video game. And that's where this what-if story begins. After Obi-Wan's death, Palpatine arrives on Mustafar and greets Anakin with a new red lightsaber. But in a sudden twist, Anakin betrays him. With one swift move, he stabs Palpatine from behind, killing him. The clones are shocked but follow Anakin, now Darth Vader's orders. Vader, consumed by arrogance and thirst for power, seeks to rule the galaxy alone. This is where the game's alternate timeline ends, but our story continues from here. Anakin remembers Padme and, unaware of her death, sets out to find her. When he finally reaches her, he's devastated to discover her lifeless body and realizes that his children are gone. Yoda has taken Luke and Leia, now seeing it as his responsibility to train them both. Anakin is filled with rage and hate. First, his wife was taken from him, and now, the only thing left of her, his children, is gone too. The room fills with Vader's anger as he destroys everything around him. However, he knows his children are somewhere out there, and instead of hunting down Obi-Wan like in the original timeline, he focuses all his efforts on finding them. Cut to Yoda. Yoda has taken Luke and Leia with him to Dagobah, hiding them well. He knows he must find a way to keep them hidden from Vader. Alone, without any Jedi left to help, Yoda senses a presence, but he decides to ignore it for now. Luke and Leia must grow older before Yoda can begin their training. In the meantime, while the children grow, Yoda searches for any survivors. Yet, the presence he feels still lingers. Back to Vader. Consumed by rage, arrogance, and power, Vader is determined to find his children. His goal is to rule the galaxy with them by his side and turn them into the most powerful beings in the universe. But, despite his power, he can't locate them. Vader continues his relentless search, but with each failure, he grows more impatient. Eventually, he senses a strong presence, distracting him from the search for his children. He shifts his focus towards this mysterious presence. By now, 2 years have passed since the events on Mustafar. Vader has become even more powerful, and Luke and Leia are nearing the age where Yoda can train them. Meanwhile, Vader uncovers a hidden underground empire. In his eyes, anything he doesn't control is his enemy. Corrupted by power and hatred, Vader wipes out every adversary in his path, ultimately confronting the leader of this empire, Darth Maul. Without a word, they ignite their lightsabers. The room falls silent, except for the sound of the blades. But just as quickly as the duel starts, it ends. Vader swiftly cuts down Maul and looks at his lifeless body, muttering only one word.
Pathetic.
He leaves without a second thought, having risen to one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. Nothing can stand in his way now, except for his emotions. Cut to Yoda. 4 years have passed, and Yoda knows the time has come to train Luke and Leia. The training is grueling and exhausting, as Yoda sees the twins as the last hope. But the presence he sensed 4 years ago is now stronger than ever. Yoda interrupts one of the training sessions, feeling the growing presence with increasing intensity. Preparing for the worst, Yoda thinks.
Be him. It could really? Be. It can't.
He tells Luke and Leia to hide, and it seems his fears are coming true. A spaceship lands, and Yoda ignites his lightsaber. The entire area is surrounded by mist. Tension fills the air. Yoda can't see anything but hears the hum of a lightsaber, yet it's not red.
Be who could it?
As the figure gets closer, Yoda finally recognizes her. It's Ahsoka.
Survived. You have. Very good.
Ahsoka is overjoyed to see Yoda. She has learned what happened to Anakin and is determined to free him from Vader. Yoda is relieved. Ahsoka might be the key to defeating Vader. With Ahsoka's help, they have a real chance. Yoda knows Vader can't be defeated in sheer combat anymore, but he also knows that Vader's emotions are his weakness. The fact that someone so close to Anakin has survived is crucial. Yoda decides to divide the training. He trains Luke, and Ahsoka trains Leia. Back to Vader. He sits on his throne, alone. The only ones in the room are his guards. Vader is once again haunted by thoughts of Padme. Enraged, he pulls the guards toward him with the Force and slaughters them. Consumed by his emotions, Vader vows to find his children, the last remnants of his beloved Padme. Years pass. Yoda and Ahsoka believe the time has come to reveal themselves. Vader, meanwhile, has spent years fruitlessly searching for his children, which only causes him more despair. Yoda, Ahsoka, Luke, and Leia make their way to Mustafar, the place where it all changed. Vader immediately senses their presence. This must be it. He has finally found his children. Without delay, he heads straight for Mustafar. Everyone prepares for the coming battle, and it soon begins. Over the years, Vader hasn't just searched for his children. He's continued to master the dark arts of the Sith and is now nearly unbeatable. He knows he needs apprentices. His children, Yoda, Luke, and Leia, fight valiantly. The three of them combined are able to keep up with Vader's incredible speed. Once again, they are battling on platforms above the scorching lava. The lava boils, as does the intensity of the fight. But then tragedy strikes. Vader manages to push Luke and Leia onto a separate platform, leaving Yoda to face him alone. Luke and Leia can only watch as Yoda stares death in the face, and it happens. Vader strikes Yoda, first severing his hands, then beheading him. Luke and Leia scream as the platform draws closer, forcing the battle to continue. Vader holds back, not wanting to kill his children. He keeps trying to convince them to join him, but Luke and Leia have no idea that Vader is their father. Yoda had always told them that Anakin was killed by Vader on Mustafar, and so they find themselves back on the very same hill where Obi Wan once stood. Luke and Leia make their leap, just like Obi Wan did, and Vader watches them closely. But just as Vader prepares to follow, Ahsoka appears. Vader recognizes her immediately, and in that moment, memories of his former self, Anakin Skywalker, flood his mind. Distracted, he doesn't leap with his full strength, and Luke, Leia, and Ahsoka manage to cut the most powerful being in the galaxy in half, leaving him to burn on the banks of the lava river, just as Obi Wan once did. But they make the same mistake. They don't ensure that Vader is truly dead. That's the end of the story. If you enjoyed this fan fiction and want to see the story continue, leave a comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.